let's get quick on deck, but here it is. It is going to be none other than Miramar, rather, the first map of the final two, and of course repeating for the final will be two, but as of current, a lot of hard drops. We see only one team actually dropping out as soon as it possibly can, with many more following after.
Definitely, I mean, they are going to be opting to just, stick to the northern title, and that's probably going to be keeping them safe for, a really long time, in fact, but
yeah,
the problem is, it's a bit of a long shot. Because if the circle is not in your favor, then you're in a bit of a hard spot, because rotating is going to be, a bit troublesome for you. But hey, it is Miramar we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, and it can be still much easy to rotate on this map, because it's just that huge. You pick up a car, you just run away. It's just hard for the enemies to even land a bullet on you, because just how far you guys are. But yeah, lots to be seen. A lot of the teams are just going to be, dropping parallel to the plane line, and for now it's probably going to be just a chill pill before we see any engagement come through. There is a team dropping a little nearby each other. They do see that team member like, oh, hello, but they're probably going to just split up for now, going into the same town though, and it's going to be Impala. And for now, they should be able to loot up and get ready for battle, because yeah, this is going to be something between these two teams. They just decided to drop really close, and now they have to deal with what they've, just cursed themselves with.
Absolutely. Reap of what you sow. And, well, one team is going to be coming out here with kills, points, and absolute satisfaction, while the other one will be caught in a crossfire. And Dark Hunter sadly catching the first few strays as he's downed, but Granddad does follow shortly after. No confirmation just yet. Both these teams have a player being downed, and right now, the second you drop, you don't get a lot of loot, right? These couple of bullets that you manage to pick up, you really want to use them as safely as possible.
Definitely is the case, TDM. They are one man down, and now they are looking to stay as safe as possible, but nades are incoming. Damage taken by Cookie 15, down to 44 HP. Is trying to get the revive in, but there are more nades incoming. Those are going to be missing for a while, though, but hey, does he have enough time for the revive? He should. Dark Hunter is also down. Oh boy, yeah, there we go. The revive is through. I don't think they have a lot of medicines to heal him up. But yeah, M98, they're just being really dominant on these guys. No, not quite scaling just up yet. My Ninja Way definitely could go for a flank. But yeah, they're just being really passive right now. Because, hey, obviously, Bob, they don't have a lot of guns, a lot of medicines to work around with. They barely even had time to loot. So yeah, the team have to be really methodical about this. They can't just, go all guns out blazing into, because that could just, end up randomly for either of the teams, which probably both of them don't want. So yeah, just be a little more thoughtful about this.
Put some thoughts into it. Both of your teams have now gotten a pickup, and as an opposition of earlier, you've managed to loot things up. And let's just remind everyone here, Holler, that this map is completely different from the rest. While the rest have a lot of trees, a lot of sightlines to be blocked, and buildings to support it, this Miramar is a desert, an open-fielded map, also known as Sniper Haven. So how teams are going to be approaching this map is quite different from the others, and I'm interested how that's going to be affecting them. As of now, though, Gaming Gladiators off to a good start as they do deliver the finishing blow onto Samler's Bjornter.
Definitely is the case. Eliminations coming through, and that is going to be taking the number down from 64 to 63 alive. And well, that is the first elimination of this game. Gaming Gladiators, they are being rushed by Samlers right now. Devontae is going to be the first one to throw that nade, and well, that vehicle didn't quite serve them right, but hey, he's going to be receiving a follow-up nade. The revive is going to be instantly coming through, though. Gaming G keeping themselves alive for as long as possible and getting themselves readied up for the next fight. Nades are being cooked, being thrown onto them. 43 damage done. But oh boy, the revive is going to be there. Samler just completely trying to surround them, but hey, there are two people down. Gaming G as well, though. This is a really interesting battle because they have to keep their members alive and keep themselves alive. Dante, a bit reluctant going in, but he should be able to get the final kills. And with that, Samler is now eliminated from the game. That was too early for this, guys, but this could have happened with Gaming G as well. Really interesting engagement. Didn't quite end well in Samler's favor.
Holding each other at a pinpoint situation, call it hostage rescue. But in the end, Gaming Gladiators, the true warriors of Sparta here, ended up providing just enough support, but also bait and switch as they were trying to lure in Samler. by using their dropped players and just ended up catching the rest that were up on guard with enough kills to take out the team, and that's going to be the first elimination. Also a very good way to start us off, as like we said, Gaming Guardians at the very first 2 maps, they were dominant. The following 2, not as much. They were really having a tough time to even not get eliminated as one of the first 3 teams. And this time around, hopefully that changes, as it's going to be their only escape to their last few on the top of the leaderboard. But all teams are approaching the center point of the circle, and this is about to get really dangerous for a lot of players here.
Definitely is the case, Bob, because hey, the first circle attack has finally gone up. That's going to be huge for the team to win, but I'm going to be holding on to that thought because Sad My Life just got drive-by'd and is going to be taking one more along with him. No tag player down. The revive should come through, but no tag. They're trying to spot out. Where are the teammates of Sad of Life? And yeah, there we go. Their turn fire is coming out to KP. He has to get out of there. Bad Boy with the gun out. There we go. Perfect angle. He sees both of them. He's trying to land the bullets, and yes, he will perfectly. No tag is going to be getting out of this situation with Mine and Joey and Granddad being knocked out. No tag is going to be probably wiping M90 out.
Wiping them indeed, and oh, what are these shots? No tag coming in with no mercy, and that's already a second team eliminated, and that's what offers up when a map is so wide, so open, and with not much landscape to hide behind as quickly as with the other maps we've seen today. Of course, no tag and many more teams are going to be taking advantage of it and taking you out on the field as fast as they can, because competition is that's what you're only seen as by other competitors. And well, right now, TDM at the very top taking shot, but in the meanwhile trying to return some, as of course, one of the players here, we can see Cappy closing in quite personally.
TDM coming in as death from above. They do see no tag just as about their rest. They were about to rest from the previous battle. They are now having to deal with another one. There we go. No tag Cappy trying to scale up on the guy with a nade out, but there is another guy holding his back, and yeah, that is going to be the cue for no tag to get out of there because TDM is too strong right now. 4 members still alive. No tag. They have been dealt a lot of damage. Bad Boy, though, still holding his angle, has a really good gun and a really nice scope on this as well. It's an open field, as you said. He's trying to deal some damage onto TDM, but hey, 1 player down. Cappy is out of the fight right now, unfortunately, and he's not coming back, so no tag. The disadvantage is definitely there, and they shouldn't be going back into this fight. Bad Boy just trying to land a few more bullets before going away. He's just like, hey, maybe one more, maybe equalizing the numbers, but yeah, what can he really do?
What can he do? Bad Boy here takes some damage. And everyone watching right now, if you were not here earlier, if you want to see yourself get some extra pile on that rack, 7 Gaming here with an amazing shot onto Bad Boy. Make sure to clip it and put it on the subreddit of Plausible Gaming if you want to have yourself a chance of maybe extra buck for your cash. As of course, we do have a post availability. Again, if you post a clip and it gets the most upvotes for this match, you will be earning yourself a very good $20. And of course, the player that is the highlight of that so-called clip will be joining along and receiving the reward as well. So there is no fright in it. Make sure to clip it, make sure to post it, and hope for the very best, because 7 Gaming right now are giving you not only clips, but content for us as they're taking long shots and winning the most outcomes.
Definitely is the case. 7 giving out free money for people right now, just making a clip out of TDM, and TDM has been dealt a lot of damage, and before that, obviously, no tag was taken out. Grinix just not stopping, just being super relentless right now, because, hey, he sees an enemy. Why wouldn't he fire his shots? Mini 14, out on the go, trying to land, but the scope is too small, and he's having a bit of a trouble to land those shots, but hey, he eventually should, but TDM is now back in to cover. Good engagement, but now we have our eyes on all against us, really close to Without Dope. Without Dope, 1 member is inside this house. They need to infiltrate it. They're being a SWAT team right now. They're going up inside. There are 2 people, so the trade should be there. And now, the odds being against the Without Dope member, can he survive this out on his own?
And he is the question, and comes out from behind. That's going to be DC Kale. With 1 down, he gets a second as well, and that's an absolute laser of bullets coming through Without in the meanwhile finding 1 onto the AAU. And a lot of damage here. but Without Dope are still holding their ground with the 2 players they have remaining. Very limited space they get to work with, and completely surrounded by the enemies. They still manage to find it down. That's going to be extra pressure for Recap. He looks to make a bit of a loop-de-loop around the building, and confusion for the enemies. Discombobulation at its max. Extra bullets coming out. Kale putting up a very good fight, although in the meanwhile, he just can't get the finish, and that's what you need to assert yourself points. Fairy Tail having a fight against, and right now, boys from Down Under coming out to maybe even third party these 2 teams that are having a bout and have been for quite a while now.
Yep, definitely is the case. Fairy Tail is third-partying both of these teams all against us with only 1 member remaining. Kel, well, how much longer can he stay alive for? Fairy Tail do have a really good spot, and yeah, there we go. There's just gonna be, it's practically just a shooting range for these guys right now. Exactly, look at that. April just coming through as well, knocking them out, but hey, Kale still alive from all without us, all against us, I'm sorry, from side, and yeah, he is still alive and well. Without Dope, still do have a few members there. April, though, where's the rest of his team? Well, Fairy Tail, they are alive, they are infiltrating, trying to find this one last guy, but hey, Kale's main objective right now is to get his teammate back up, because hey, that's the least he can do, but he has to be really cautious, because hey, he has enemies all around him. Without 2 members just tucked up inside that house, that Molotov isn't really going to be burning anyone. Shotgun out, this could be huge. Doors closed, they're waiting for it to open, but Kale just not confident enough just yet. He's just trying to bait someone out, trying to find someone out, just come into his crosshair. He's not going to go down with a fight, is he? Fairy Tail, though, they kind of have stopped. They kind of have slowed down, because that third party was really good. They probably could have gotten, you know, a lot more eliminations out of that fight, because yeah, AA and Without Dope, they were just confused on what to really do, because hey, third team coming onto them, they have no idea what to do, but hey, Bob, the revive is going to be coming through, and it's going to be a 2v2 between Without and all against us.
Absolutely huge here, and while we speak of it, let's see how Without Dope managed to come out of this crushing situation, everything piling up upon them. Recap and Eternal, the last one to stand, but is Eternal's name true, or will it all be a limited amount, a sufficient fight just to see how much kills you can come out with, as Without haven't really been racking up goods. They only have 1 right now to put up to the number, and with so much surrounding you, you really only hope you bite your teeth, bite down on this bullet, that you manage to survive it, but all against us are coming in, closing, start scouting out this house. Molly's as well in hand, popping them out. You peek out from the window, and that is absolute shame, as all against us fall, and they will be the 13th in a row to be eliminated.
That Molly was the sign of his demise. The moment, I mean, they got the perfect timing onto them, so that's, I mean, that's something good from Without Dope, but that is gonna be the end of all against us now, and Without Dope still tucked inside this house. But the problem is, as soon as they get out, they are gonna have to deal with Fairy Tails, who are up really close, still in their vicinity, and now there is another team as well. That's gonna be Typhon. So yeah, 3 teams up really close to each other. They are in a cramped area, but they do still have a lot of space to move around in, without being really passive. As from the beginning, of course, they are not really making any moves, just staying tucked up inside this house, not really moving. And to be honest, it even served them well, right? Because the all against us player was just trying to get a pick onto them, you know, just mauling, nading, going inside with a shotgun, then somehow they just ended up getting him. So yeah, serving them well so far. They are definitely seem to be doing the right thing. And now we have our eyes on TDM's players, because yeah, they're deep inside the zone. They need to get out. Not a lot of damage being dealt, but hey, the rotation is definitely required.
Definitely required indeed. Well, this map, hopefully these vehicles won't be your demise. The Sandstorm here are going to be piling up a lot of players in it, so you definitely want to find your way out of it as soon as possible. But boys from downtown going straight for the core of it. While in the meanwhile, one of the players from Myth being completely left alone. As of current, we can spot out that Montenuevo is going to be one of the major points, not only of action, but also a real rendezvous here for a lot of players to gather by.
For sure. Once again, eyes on Without Dope. They do have information on Typhon, don't they? They probably do, but now they have another team coming up from their backs. Not up really close yet, but never mind. As I say that, they are really close, and Eternal is going to be the first one to fire the shot, and there we go, perfectly animated. Oh, yeah, there we go. I was going to say perfect elimination, but yeah, it didn't come through just yet. But hey, Trick Mix definitely misjudged the presence of an enemy being there, because Without Dope, they were here for a really long time. But yeah, TDM players had no idea, and that just gave away a free kill from TDM side. And now Without Dope finally getting into the vehicle, stepping on, flooring it, just getting out of there, getting into the circle. And yeah, definitely have moved into a very better place, because yeah, they're now in the circle, and they're going to be able to stay here for a bit longer, or actually much longer.
Much longer indeed. Recap though, I don't think they realize how close to absolute fright they are. They do pick up on a vehicle, and although that may be just what gives it away where they stand, actually nicely park it inside for possible extra coverage or just comfortability's sake. But the van now in action. Recup's still looking for anyone trying to take out his teammate, going for a bit of a takeaway. Redline, 2 players here nearby, and this could be a fight between 2 duos.
Definitely is the case. Without Dope, they are doing great stuff despite having only 2 members alive, and we are looking forward to them showing us even more. Recup, position is there. Gets himself into the better position, but now eyes on Fairy Tail because Bombi is going to be bombing. Not a lot of damage done, but he's trying to land his bullets onto TDM members. TDM members already having lost 1, but there we go. 4 Angry Sense. He's being rushed by Typhoon players, but that spray down is really good. The door is going to be the first barrier between these guys. The nades are being cooked. He needs to get out of there. Barely does in time. In fact, 7 bullets. The reload is there. Typhoon were not prepared for this to happen. He's also receiving some fire from Redline, but yeah, should be able to get into cover. 4 Angry Sense. 4 players behind him. His teammates just not ready to help him just yet. And yeah, that 1 elimination was enough to get him enough time to get out of there. Fairy Tail on the other side is going to be taking out TDM. Redline also with the reposition, gathering up, readying themselves up for the fight that is to come.
The fight that is to come! What an absolute performance here! And well, Fairy Tail are still not letting go of the steam as Redline now approaching with the car on drive-by, ready to just hop out of this vehicle, recollect everything, and go into gunfights as soon as possible. Early shots here, long range Heaven, taking it from above, but what a shot back from Sparta, as Ronnie does need to flash it out, find himself a comfort zone, and right now, boys from downtown are really not as snug as a bug. 1453 do shoot back and try and find the third-party pro, but no cons just given yet to those, as right now the Myth are playing off of all 4 players, 1 down that is soonly to be picked up in hopes of it. Molly's there to try and secure an extra pushback from being denied. And well, 11 teams, 40 alive. That is a very good count.
Definitely is the case. Amazing shot there from Sparta. I'm still surprised the way he was able to retaliate. But hey, for now, we need to keep our eyes on Ronnie because he is up against a fight with Justice right now. They are practically in a 1v1 right now. Nades being tossed here and there. Flashbangs. It's going to be blinding Justice for a bit. Ronnie, though, will he take the fight or will he run away to a better position? On the other side, we can see Sparta getting a few more knockouts as well. So a lot of good damage being done by the Myth players. Boys from downtown, though, also coming into the fight. There we go. First bullet fired onto Abdo. Abdo still alive, though, and good return damage as well. Should be able to give him a bit more time to reposition himself, but there we go. Ronnie finally coming into the play is going to be finding 1 out as well on Myth. Myth is having an amazing engagement with boys from downtown right now. Ronnie just still alive with the nade being cooked. Justice, you have to dodge that. You gotta dodge that, but he's just gonna go for the elimination and pulls out the gun with the headshot. Amazing stuff by Ronnie. This guy is being a 1-man army on his own.
When you have a job to do, you put Ronnie on it because you know the performance on this player is at an all-time high right now. And we can take a look at the kills from boys from downtown. He has been the only one to really put up a decent fight, and hopefully more performance from him as of currently, though. 7 Gaming taking a look at them. Gasu taking a fight to Call Me Bomby. Extra finish on the bright side, and it's looking quite bright for him as not only 2 downs, but Fairy Tail being pinched into a corner, all pressure crumbling down on them. And talking about crumbling, that's the situation they're in, like a cookie. They're about to be eaten up here, and 7 Gaming approaching. That's a shot through the fire and the flames. An extra 1 from behind. 1 more player to take out. It is going to be a full team wipe. 4 kills is huge. Fairy Tail have been really performing at their max standard, and the final player, Khan, being shot at. He's been spotted out and eliminated with the help of Storm on request.
Fairy Tail is now eliminated from this game. 7G for the win. BFD on the other side. Boys from downtown, 2 alive, and Ronnie, well, he really did get away with an amazing play there. But yeah, really nice fight so far. But once again, the teams have calmed down. But as I say that, Ivas is going to be receiving fire from Typhon's players, who are also being flanked by Gaming G. So yeah, these teams are in a bit of a trouble right now, and they have to deal this really cautiously. Looking at the positioning of the teams, look at how, well, a lot of the teams, they do have a lot of space to move around in, but some of them are up really close, like Redline, Typhon, and BFD, they're just up into each other. So yeah, they're going to have to play this out really cautiously. And as I say that, Typhon is going to be taking one down on BFD side, and that only leaves one on Boys from Downtown, who were the winners of the previous game, by the way. And now they're in a bit of trouble. Gaming Gladiators on the other side. Shots fired, nothing landed. Levante trying to stay as safe as possible, but he's really out in the open, and his really optimal course of action would be just to get out of there. But hey, he's much more brave than I am, so he's gonna stay there.
That is why it is Gaming Sparta overall, or Gaming Gladiators. But still, they have returned back into this arena, and now they're ready to put up a fight. And when we speak of it, 7 Gaming as well. Truly the gaming masters here, as 4 Angries, one of them being down. That's going to be Tiska in a very unfortunate situation, sadly lying down. And this is where the final circle will soonly initiate, as Kasu will be the leader, especially when it comes to kills. Rocks there. This finds Sadel. No finish, but Gaming Gladiators have spread out, and they're looking for a hunt.
Definitely is. Levante still up really close onto 7G. The information, both of them know where they are. Storm is also they're in a bit of a pinch right now with 2 players knocked out. They need to get out of this situation too, but Levante, he really wants to get a few of 7G here. He really wants to land, deal some damage, maybe even get a knockout or 2. He's not exactly, willing to leave his position. He's just locking it down for his teammates. 7G, not really making any moves on him either. There we go, Gaming G coming into the fight, knocking some out. On the other side, we can see Lost Soul dealing some damage too on the vehicle. And there we go, Storm on request. Nosferatu has to be dealing with 3 people at the same time, and unfortunately he cannot. And now Storm on request has been eliminated. Lost Soul, 2 players alive, only 25 in total. What? This is just, once again, Bob, this is just pure chaos at this point. So many teams are just surrounded by so many. It's just pure confusion on what to really do, which engagement to take, who to really deal with first. It's just, that is what PUBG is about. Just millisecond decisions that these guys have to make.
Indeed they do. Gaming Gladiators, a top-notch performance this time around. The nade comes through.
Good nade.
Does deliver extra. No finish. That's why we put an extra one there. A third one just doesn't stop.
Beautiful.
Finds Kasu. Still one more to claim. Actually, 7 Gaming. My mistake, they have been completely wiped off the board. And Gaming Gladiators, the fact that we still have 8 teams alive here is absolutely insane.
He's just picking up nades and he's just tossing them. He's kind of misjudging where that 4 angry player is, but he should be able to get him soon enough. But as soon as shots are fired, they're going to be knowing exactly where these guys are, because the only reason Levante isn't being naded right now because he hasn't exactly fired any shots either. So the other team is like, other players like, hey, I don't really know. So they're just tossing nades onto each other, trying to get that knock, trying to deal some damage at least. And yeah, that engagement is going to go on for a bit longer before we actually see a knock or a kill come through. So otherwise, we're just going to be keeping an eye on the Mets. What are they up to? They really actually put up a performance in the previous games by getting so many eliminations, but this time around they're actually down 2 members. Up really close without though. This was the team we were looking at, trying to survive, trying to be super passive, and once again we see them doing the same thing, being tucked up inside a house. But as I say that, Sparta is going to be receiving fire from Gaming Genius, who are not Genius, Gaming G, who are like about a kilometer away from these guys. But yeah, without not making a single move, not a single footstep from these guys. Look at this, Bob.
Oh. Not looking good. Myth right now. These 2 players have been surviving for such a long time here.
No, so unlucky. But hey, had to happen. They survived for too long. I mean, hey, they were doing a really good job, as you said, because surviving for that long with just 2 members alive is really great. But now we have our eyes on a red line. They aren't really close any enemies. They are trying to clear this space, clear the houses out. There are a few teams around them, but now they do have control of this house. So yeah, that is going to be giving them a good position to hold on to for a little while before they have to deal with Typhon and a few of BFD players.
Just a few indeed. Right now, Typhon are definitely going to be the ones downing one of the players from Myth. One of the 2 that remain, Sparta, on his knees. Now this final player is going to have to carry this duo that's remaining and has been for quite a while. but has brought him to a long way just to manage to capture 1 point off of being the 7th. And right now, the Myth eliminated. That's one. Typhon still coming out for a peek, getting extra kills onto Redline. Huge value off of them. And again, just unexpected plays here. Redline just trying to regain what they lost, but Typhon aren't going to be allowing them to do so easily. Checking out gadgets, all sorts, and maybe even cover on the side. But right now, Redline are completely occupied with what Typhon are putting down, as we do have a down, a second one for them as well. A lot of trouble coming out from the outside sources, although trying to fight against many more teams is definitely a difficult task.
Definitely is the case. Typhon are being able to deal some damage onto Redline, but finally they receive some return fire. Redline, Slavin is going to be taking one down with the shotgun. Typhon has been dealt some damage. Cog has been taken down. Cog, by the way, was the guy who was dealing the most amount of damage to Redline, and now he's finally down. The revive is there, though, and he should be healed back up in no time. At BFT, unfortunately, is going to be taken out by the zone. So yeah, they're out of this game, but now that just leaves 5 teams alive and up really close. Redline, Gaming G, and Typhon. Eliminations coming through one by one. Redline getting some work done, but they aren't really able to. Gaming Gladiators just being once again just as dominating. This is the performance that we needed to see from these guys, and they are going to be putting it up perfectly for us. Clearing out Redline one by one with only Ivas remaining. Slavin is knocked out right now. Gaming G, 5 kills and 10 in total. Killing spree for these guys. Ivas, he is just to survive right now because he really cannot do much against a team like Gaming G. They're just coming all out. Guns blazing. Guns hot, just dominating, with now Typhon up really close as well. So Iwas, he might be able to get a kill or 2 before going out, but he's really, only option is to just stay alive for a bit longer, maybe get a few more survival points, because all alone, he cannot deal with Typhon and Gaming G at the same time.
In the far distance, 4 Angries trying to take a best toll at 1453, who have had 4 players alive up until now, but that doesn't stand for much longer as they're completely eliminated by 4 Angry Sens. What a performance! All 4 gone, done and dusted, as now Gaming Gladiators are the best ones to put up a performance with 3, 4 Angries with 4, with 2, Typhon G with 1, and Redline as well. The zone is closing in. This is going to be the final fight here. Phase 7 incoming any second, and you need to be quick on the move. The zone is not as forgiving as it was in the very beginning. First aid kit for now. Pop it while you still can. But Gaming Gladiators are riding around and looking for their first victims.
Battle of Medicines between Iwas and the player from Typhon. They're going to be healing themselves up, but Redline is likely to get wiped out very soon, so it's probably going to be Gaming G versus 4 Angries for the battle for the chicken dinner. Iwas has been knocked out by the zone. That was his fate, already dictated from the very start, and now it is Typhon G, 4 Angries, and Gaming G alive. Typhon G, not much hope either, because hey, it's just 1 guy remaining. But hey, the problem is the upset that could actually happen here is 4 Angries taking out 3 of Gaming G. So I'm kind of looking forward to that, but that is what time is going to be telling us, because the engagement is there. Lost All is going to be taking a few shots onto Levante. Is also going to be receiving a lot of return fire too. That is one good trade there. Knockout for a knockout. Gaming G 1v2, 1 guy remaining. Klavi, he's going to be trying to get the revive in, and should be able to get it in time as well. So now that makes it 2v2s, which is going to be ending up to be a good thing for Gaming G. For Angry. The nades are being cooked. Extends, pushing up. Super good nade. Getting the knockout once again. Klavi being the only one alive once again. Half HP. If he gets this kill, never mind. He's just going to be bombarded with a nade. So now, all they really have to do is spot out the player from Typhon G. And where is he? They don't know.
In fact, they do not. But if he manages to scout out a 1v1 situation for one of these players to get it down to equal ground, that's the best one he has. That was too close for comfort here, but he's playing the wrong game. The smartest way of going about it, one of these players from Gaming Gladiators will be closing up and taking steps in the wrong direction. Right now, Typhon Gaming very close to being eliminated. This one player being your final effort. But the spreadness from Gaming Gladiators worries me, to be quite exact. They want to cover as much ground and, again, really get this crossfire going, but the second Typhon here does get 1 snipe shot onto you. It's going to be down to odds, a 50-50 gunfight between the two, and it all matters because the first place gets you 4 points above the second, which is a quite scaly amount. Now taking long range, but as well, the high ground here extends. He spots him out, shoots it. Doesn't claim just yet, but time is about to be running out.
Definitely is the case. Gaming Gladiators, they do want to take this final first position because, hey, they aren't really doing very well on the scoreboard, but not the time to think about that. X-Town's going to be trying to get him once again. Doesn't really quite land just yet. TNY just in the middle, and this is perfectly working out for Gaming Gladiators because this is what they set up for him. Rock's already on the flank. He exactly knows where he is, and there we go. Gaming Gladiators with the perfect crossfire that they set up is going to be serving them perfectly for the win or the chicken dinner. What an amazing effort by TNY from Typhon's side. He managed to stay alive for that long, but hey, Gaming Gladiators